I once talked about anti-villains, and the anti-hero is, of course, the mirror opposite. The main difference, an anti-hero does good while having bad characteristics or motivations. An anti-villain does bad while having good qualities or good motivations. Maybe they have a code of honor, or maybe they're doing it for revenge for a fallen loved one. What's an anti-hero compared to an ideal hero? An ideal hero is supposed to be honorable, selfless, brave. They're good role models. Think of the big blue Boy Scout Superman. Now think of Batman as a prototypical anti-hero. Brutal, manipulative, not the person you want to hang out with, but ultimately on the side of the angels. Even though he kind of has some demonic methods, but we don't talk about that. So the first kind of anti-hero is actually the opposite of the ideal hero. They're not as confident, they may be a bit more self-doubting, emotional, selfish, a little bit dumb, violent, or even cowardly. To me, Spider-Man comes to mind because not like your ideal hero, Spider-Man has doubts, Spider-Man has flaws. And of course, why we love him so much is that he tries to overcome these flaws, always trying to balance in between his superhero life and his normal life. He is still a hero, but not what you would expect with, let's say, your ideal superheroes like Superman's often represented, which is good because Spider-Man is more grounded than that, because anti-heroes aren't always the good guys who break your bones or curse. Sometimes they're just deeply flawed people who are trying to be better. Then you have your pragmatic anti-heroes. These are the people who do the dirty jobs that need to get done. These are the people who will resort to extremes. There's a lot of collateral damage. This is again against your, let's say, your ideal version of someone like Superman, who will kind of try to talk his way out or trying to find a way to come to a peaceful resolve. These people, they're snapping your neck if it comes to it. Think of your Black Widows or your Nick Fury, even Wonder Woman as someone who tries to be a harbinger of peace, will snap a neck or two if need be. She's still a warrior and will kill if it comes to having to save the world. Then you have your unscrupulous anti-heroes. These heroes are slightly better than actual villains, mostly because they either have a dark and troubled past, or the world and environment in which they live in is even darker and more malign than they are. We often sympathize and root for them because they're fighting people who are actual evil. This is your Punishers, your Hit Girl, even Rorschach. They have brutal methods and they have a twisted view of the world, but sometimes you can't really blame them. These are people who are saving the world, which is good, but the reasons behind it, probably not. They might have selfish motivations, or might be forced to, or sometimes it's just a good old revenge. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, and the enemy happens to be the villain. Then you have your nominal hero. You have people like John Wick, who's a nominal hero. He's an assassin just killing massive amounts of people. In any other person's movie, John Wick would be the bad guy, the boogeyman. What makes him endearing to us is because of the reason, the revenge, or he's being threatened. You have the Suicide Squad, which are actual literal villains who save the world because they have a bomb implanted inside their head. They're literally forced to do it. Or you even have Loki, who constantly every once in a while saves the world. Let's say for instance in Thor: The Dark World, where he helped his brother Thor ultimately win the day, but mostly it was out of revenge for his dead mother. Loki is usually in it for himself, and if he's ever on the side of the good guys, it's because he has something in it. That's what makes him a nominal hero. So you have the classical anti-hero who just doesn't have the known traits of an ideal hero. You have the pragmatic hero who will do the dirty jobs when they need to be done no matter what it is. You have the unscrupulous hero who is slightly better than villains and doesn't really have the moral fiber of a regular hero. And you have the nominal hero who usually is forced or has an ulterior motive in being a hero. So with these four types, what is your favorite type of anti-hero? Or what is just your favorite character who happens to be an anti-hero? Let me know down below and see ya.